Imagine waking up and every single airplane gone. No jets, no Cessnas, not even model planes. The sky is empty, silent. The world would grind to a halt instantly. This isn't just about canceled vacations, this is a global chain reaction. Today we're diving into what would really happen if every plane vanished overnight. We'll break down the 5 most catastrophic consequences, from the economy to your daily life. The reality is way more shocking than you think. Let's get into it. This is what would happen if every plane on Earth vanished. Chaos. Over 1 million people in the air. Gone. Instantly. Airports turn into refugee camps. Millions stranded. No way home. Tourism collapses. Hotels and restaurants close. The world feels impossibly large again. Only the wealthy travel. The freedom of movement. Gone. This is just the beginning. It gets worse. The travel chaos is just the start. Next comes economic collapse. The aviation industry vanishes overnight, airlines bankrupt, jobs gone, and tourism wiped out. The stock market crashes, investors panic, oil demand collapses, a global depression worse than the Great Depression. Unemployment soars, banks fail, the world is thrown into chaos, the global economy shatters. Now, imagine the supply chain crisis. Over 50 million tons of cargo move by air every year. Gone. Fresh foods, flowers, and seafood would disappear from stores, replaced by only local seasonal produce. The biggest hit? Medicine, life-saving drugs, vaccines, and donor organs rely on air transport. Organ transplants across distances. Impossible. Hospitals would run out of critical drugs within weeks. Chronic illness patients would face life-or-death shortages. Mail and packages? Next-day delivery would vanish. International mail would take weeks or months. Important documents and contracts would be lost in a logistical nightmare. The speed of commerce and communication would be set back a century. Technology would stall. Electronics rely on global air freight for components. Factories would run out of parts, halting production. Empty shelves, failing hospitals, and paralyzed industries would become the norm. The global supply chain would be dead. We'd be forced into extreme localization, but we're not prepared. Massive shortages of everything from car parts to coffee. The world's efficiency would be replaced by fragility. We just broke the most important link in our modern world. The consequences would be immediate and brutal. Here's a twist. Without planes, the sky would get cleaner overnight. Aviation is responsible for nearly 1 billion tons of CO2 each year. That would drop to zero instantly. Cities near airports would see cleaner air, contrails would vanish, changing sunlight and weather patterns. Scientists would scramble to study this unprecedented experiment. Global temperatures might dip, at least briefly. The planet would, in a sense, take a breath. But this miracle would be short-lived. To replace air travel, we'd need more ships, trucks, and trains, many of them dirtier than planes. Cargo ships burn heavy, dirty fuel, polluting oceans and harming marine life. Highways would be clogged with trucks, creating smog and traffic jams. The rush to build new infrastructure would destroy habitats and ignore environmental regulations. The initial environmental benefit would be quickly erased. We'd face a choice: build a greener transport network, or scramble for the fastest, dirtiest fix. Panic would likely win out. The clean skies would be a temporary illusion. The long-term environmental impact could be even worse. The world would be forced to confront its dependence on flight. The environmental story is far from simple. One final terrifying consequence: our safety. Military and emergency response depend on air power. After disasters, planes and helicopters deliver aid, rescue survivors, and save lives. Without them, death tolls from earthquakes, hurricanes, and tsunamis would skyrocket. Aid would take days or weeks to arrive by sea. Search and rescue would be limited to foot or boat, too slow for many. The military would lose air superiority. Modern defense strategies would collapse. Countries would be more vulnerable, and global instability would rise. Land-based conflicts could become more brutal, like World War I trench warfare. Remote communities would lose access to flying doctors. Medical emergencies could become death sentences. Police and news helicopters would vanish, making cities less safe and less informed. Every aspect of emergency management would be slower and less effective. Our heroes in the sky would be grounded. The world would be a much more dangerous place. We'd be slower, less informed, and far less able to respond to crises. The loss would be felt in every emergency. So, what have we learned? A world without planes would be unrecognizable. It's not just about travel, it's a complete societal collapse. The global economy would shatter, supply chains would break, and disaster response would be crippled. The fast, interconnected world we know would become slow, isolated, and dangerous. Cleaner air would be a brief illusion, replaced by new pollution. The human cost would be immeasurable, millions stranded, economies ruined, lives lost. We take for granted that we can cross oceans in hours, but that ability underpins our civilization. Without it, the world shrinks and distances grow impossibly large. How would you adapt if planes disappeared tomorrow? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.